Hi everyone, I'm Benoit Robert. I would like to give you an overview of the Introduction to Houdini class that I will be giving at ANOMALIA. It will be held in Český Krumlov city. It's a beautiful city in Czech Republica, and I've been there a few times. It'll be my fifth class I'll be giving at ANOMALIA. You may wonder, who is Benoit Robert? So I'm doing FX for the last 16 years. I've been in several studios, 6 studios in Montreal, and I have always been FX artist or lead. At the moment, I'm FX lead at Rodeo FX, and I'm working on big shows, like more than 30 shows, something like 35 shows at the moment. It's usually blockbusters, Hollywood movies, or Netflix. It's really my passion, and I love to teach as well. I've been teaching for 11 years by now at NAD University in Montreal, 5th time at Anomalia. I've been teaching for about 6 years at, more than that, at Tianjin University in China. And I have been teaching for 2 years full-time for Technicolor Academy. So I was basically teaching juniors when they started at MPC. I was their trainer for 3 months, 40 hours per week. And for 3 months, I was going through everything needed to achieve production quality. Because when we deal with big clients like Disney, or you always have to have super high standards. And so it was my role to lift their level to what is required in production. Who is this class for? So this introduction is really for people who has some understanding of 3D. So maybe you come from another 3D package, such as Maya, 3ds Max, Blender, and you would like to know more about how to do FX. Because this is really my specialty, FX for cinema. And in the industry, we are now using Houdini as the main 3D package for doing FX. So this class is really for people who are, say, juniors in Houdini. You may be also already good in 3D. Say you are doing some modeling or lighting in other packages, such as Maya, and you would like to learn into Houdini how to do 3D, right? Maybe you even come from video industry and you are usually using After Effects or Premiere, something like that, and you would like to start in 3D doing some effects, right? So that's all possible, no problem. You will see that even though it's an introduction class, we will cover all the main topics related to FX. So why Houdini? So there is, of course, we can do FX in multiple 3D packages, and over time it changed in the industry. I started like 16 years ago, and back in the days it was in Softimage, and many packages has been touched. So we used 3ds Max for film effects, we used Maya eventually for Enclot, we used almost all the packages, RealFlow, and basically nowadays we are using Houdini across the world. It's not just in Montreal, it's really everywhere. Houdini has become the main 3D package for professional FX. And its main reason is that we are using graphs. It's nodal graph, it's procedural. So if I change the upstream and instead of this character, I change it for another character, if my graph is made in such a way to be procedural, then everything down the line will be applied, and we can basically process multiple shots with the same graph, multiple assets as well. So it's super powerful, really well made for production. Here's a few topics that I would like to be covering with you. So destruction, of course, it's one of the big block in FX. So how to shatter pieces, how to do simulation of hard, rigid pieces that breaks, right? We will like to also have some dust. The dust can be made out of particle simulation, but can also be made out of smoke simulation. Deformers, so the same solver we want to apply we use for smoke this can be used as dust as well. And dust will be driven by particles, even though in the end, if we use smoke simulation, under the hood, we will also use some particle simulation to run the emission. Where do we want to have some smoke simulation? As soon as we do some smoke, we will be able to quickly change it to be fire. It's really similar. It is voxels simulations. Paro is super powerful for fluid like fire and smoke simulation. We will also use water touch water in the class. This one is using Flip Solver, and it's really powerful for multiple size of water. It goes well for small scale, like a glass of water, all the way up to open ocean on which you may have a boat riding, something like that. Okay, so we won't go crazy at first. In this class, it will be more like an introduction to water, intro to destruction and particle and fire. So don't be stressed. We will go one step at a time. We will, of course, learn about how to do procedural modeling, because we always do modification of the geometry. It can be something like cloud simulation. It can be if I don't know, I want to have something custom, I would like to have more emission in one area, I may need to apply some geometry deformation after or before simulation. So we'll speak about that. At the same time, VDB, it's a tool made for voxels. So it's like volumes, but it allows us to do some procedural modeling as well, because we can convert from particle to VDB, and from VDB we can convert back to particle or to geometry, and we can convert from polygon to VDB, from smoke to VDB, VDB to smoke, VDB to anything. It's really a way to exchange one polygon, one type of 3D asset into another type. It's super powerful. And I'd like also to introduce you to Unreal. How can we export the 3D effects that we do? How can we bring it back into Unreal? I would like also to show you how to import it into Nuke to do some compositing. So it's either for VFX, for cinema, or for game. So this class is made in such a way that it can be applied for both situations. All right, next, on completion of this course, I would like to make sure that you are up and running, that you're comfortable using Houdini, that you're able to navigate around, that you know how to use the application, how to navigate in the graph and to understand the attributes that we use, and how to read the graph and how does things work in the package. So it will be important for you to master the logic of the procedural graph in order to achieve your own goals. At the end, I would like to make sure that you're comfortable importing, exporting assets or effects, rendering your elements. I would like to make sure you can gather in different ways also, that to apply some material to your geometries, and how to solve problems, how to solve situation that you're confronted with in the real life. If you happen to have a real job, I'll show you how to seek for information, how to understand the help from Houdini, and where to find solutions for you, the best tutorials and kind of things. Now let's discuss quickly about how it works during the day. So I'd like to start with a masterclass in the morning live with you. Of course, you can ask me questions on the go, no problem. It's small groups usually, and then we have lunch together. Usually the way it works, in Český Krumlov, there is a very nice restaurant from where we usually order the food, and we do for usually many people, usually like all the team except a few. We like to order from that place because they deliver at Český Krumlov Castle, where we teach, and basically the food is really, it's already upstairs. You just have to sit and eat, and it's always very good, and it's quite affordable compared to other places. Krumlov can be, it's a touristic city, right? So if you don't want to spend too much on restaurants, that's a very good option. Then in the afternoon, I like to give you another approach. So there's 3 type of workshops that I like to give. First one is more, I provide you with a scene. Say this one, I have a scene, it's working like this, and I will tell you, okay, instead of using the Slimer, I would like you to use this character instead, or another, or your own character. And then make sure it works still with the graph. Can you do some modification to make sure it works? And if not, then I come at your desk and I will help you there. Another way of teaching, I like to give you a workshop where I provide you some references and you have nothing. You start from scratch, and then you have to build a scene and try to match the reference that I gave you, right? It can be animated or static, but I like to use references. It's, as usual, references are so important. And lastly, but not the less, personal project. I would like you guys to bring with you some ideas and references of what you would like to bring in your demo reel, something that you feel like, oh, I would be so proud if I could do this and add this effect in my demo reel. I will be here with you for the full week, and I will help you out to achieve this goal. If you're not sure, is this possible? Is it too much? Just send me an email and we will chat about it. We can even have a personal meeting with Skype, and I will give you some advice on that. So no stress. So I hope this gives you a good overview of the class. I hope to see you very soon in Český Krumlov. It will be my pleasure to be with you. Okay? Ciao.